Okay, so I was saying I've been taking a look at Euro USD just briefly before the program, and seems like we have a strong bullish move. Well, on a higher time frame from our previous analysis, the last few classes, the last few sessions, you see we talked about a strong move, a strong buy for the euro. Well, any XXX USD pair, we're expecting a strong move to the upside for them. So this is simply a kind of consolidation phase before the market continues that move. So we've been consolidating for the last week plus within this zone. So I'm simply expecting at least the trend continuation, even if this consolidation is just what's going to continue for now. We're expecting a decent uptrend, which is about 100 pips. So that's that for Euro USD. So on the short term, I'm expecting a buy from here all the way back up there. So that's 131 pips. But this buy gets invalidated, the market should break below this blue zone on my screen. Okay, so but the general uptrend, I don't actually see that going anywhere unless we see an unlucky event where the market breaks below the zone below. But until that happens, I'm not really expecting any kind of serious sell from Euro USD. So I'm expecting more of higher highs rather than lower lows. Okay. So I'm expecting a move up on a short term, give or take before our next class, before our next program, this should have played out. So 131 pips, decent move. That's that for Euro USD. So I was also looking at AUD card. I was on a sell for this for a couple of days now, and it's still consolidating at the resistance. So we could simply just wait for it to make a decision and either move down to my take profit or break out. But personally, I'm actually holding out to see a move down to my take profit, which is at this zone. Then I'll take a buy from there. Most likely, the next time we break above this trend line will be uh, a strong bullish momentum. So I'm just holding out and looking forward to that. Now, to the cryptocurrency market side, Bitcoin has been, what's the right word? Stubborn recently. It's been bearish, but that's not entirely a bad thing. Okay, so from what I saw, it's more of a correction, a general trend. Okay, so we're still bullish. We just a correction was just necessary. Now let me explain why I say that. Now you need to understand structure, support and resistance, place the market that is likely going to react to in order to understand how this market flows. Now, during this uptrend, you can see how the market reacted here. So that tells us there's some sort of a support or resistance around that price area, right? So naturally, if the market is going to come back up here, we're almost certainly going to have or see a reaction to that zone. Okay, so that's simply what Bitcoin did. Okay, simply a reaction to that zone. You see that? So what we have is simply a reaction to that resistance. It's perfectly normal for the market to respect a resistance. So pretty much what happened here is a correction. Now we're just waiting to see if we're going to bounce back up and break out of this or have a bearish continuation. Personally, I'm holding out to a bullish continuation, even if it's not going to be much, at least a correction back up to say 22,800. So that's a give or take a $1,500 move from the current market price. So if this happens, the most interesting thing about analyzing Bitcoin is trading alternate coins here. So say ICP, I trade this pairs on my screen are what I trade the most. So I'll just be holding out to take positions on them. Okay. I think ICP has escaped this trend on my charts. I'm just going to leave that. So even without that, we're still at the support and the market is bullish. So should Bitcoin actually continue its uptrend, you know it's only natural for alternate coins to do the same. They're going to trend along with Bitcoin. So should we continue to move up? Should Bitcoin continue to move up, we'll still see more action from ICP, at least even if it's to retest this resistance, which is another 6%. it's a decent move. You trade this on futures, you're going to be making a decent amount of money at the end of the day. You can just break it down to the 30-minute time frame and take a short-term position on that, like this, taking a bullish continuation. Definitely my stop loss would be just below there. And that's, I see we still have a decent 1:2 from this trend. So you could just take this and enjoy the ride, yeah. So for Solana has been one of the pair that I've been trading and AVAX recently. So they all have the same vibe, the same trend, bullish continuations, the next resistance. Unfortunately, we didn't have this class earlier on. If not, we'll be able to catch these moves at the bottom. But well, this one is already too far gone to enter this market right now, since the distance between our entry and our resistance really isn't all that much. So the risk to reward isn't good. And I've mentioned severally that we want unfair advantages. We don't just want the trend, we don't just want to predict the trend, we also want odds that are in our favor, right? So in as much as this market is going to move in this particular direction, if we want to take this trade, we also want a very good risk to reward ratio. We don't want to make and lose, or potentially make and or lose the same amount of money. We want odds where if we make money, we make more money than we stand to lose, at least two times more than what we're standing to lose. Okay, so if we take this, we're not going to find odds like that. So there's really no point trading. Okay, there's a significant difference between being a trader and being a gambler. Traders take calculated risks. Gamblers just anything that looks like it's going to happen, then they put their money on it. So we're taking calculated risks that are going to end up, that would most likely end up paying out in our favor at the end of the day. Okay. Okay, so my beloved AVAX is also in that same situation. I trade this more on a higher time frame, so I just have some really key support and resistance levels on this chart. Let me break it down to the smaller time frame. Okay, so pretty much the same situation on AVAX. Bottomed out as a key support, reversing zones up there. So if we can break this down to a smaller time frame, we might be able to see some action, something we can trade. Oh, by the way, prepare the pairs that you're going to be recommending, because after this, I'm going to be pulling up, asking you what exactly we should be analyzing. So prepare your points, markets you want us to look at, and as soon as we're done with this, we'll start working on them. Okay, so you see, these support and resistance, when seen as much as I focus on the key levels, we still have certain price levels that once the market goes be above them, you know, okay, we're going to be trending to the upper half of this market. So I tend to sometimes when I come down to a lower time frame, I can take a much smaller trend, much smaller loss, instead of waiting for the market to break the general trend. I could simply trade a short-term trend. The difference between what's happening on AVAX and Solana is that Sol was already too far gone. Even if I dropped to a lower time frame, I still wouldn't get a good risk to reward ratio. But with this, I may still be able to. Okay, so just my stop loss will be probably somewhere below that level. Let's see if this goes well. Okay. Our stop loss is just going to be below that line. Naturally, our take profit is going to be at the resistance, so we still have a decent 1:2.28. So it's really not bad taking this. Just looking for a little confirmation on the RSI. It's 50-50, so just decide if you're going to take it or not. If you're not, you leave it. But the 1 hour still looks fairly bullish, so if you're not going to take this here, maybe you might gamble it, wait to see if you get a better entry, and then enter the market and trade it up from there. But it looks like it's going to play out. Okay, so what do you want me to look at for you? What pairs have you been trading? What markets have you been looking into? And go ahead, even if it's questions, let me know. Let's squash them. It's all trading. GBP, JPY. Okay. Okay. Mm, I have a little dilemma here. This market hasn't actually topped out, but this looks like a much stronger sell than what's going to stop at this support level. Personally, I really wouldn't take a trade here. The RR isn't good. If I decide to take a sell from here, I really wouldn't be stopping loss until above that zone, or unless maybe here, which really doesn't make all that sense. Plus, like I said, I'm still not I do expect it to drop below this support line, but I'm not expecting it to drop all the way down here. So it's a little unsettling. So I really wouldn't be taking a trade on a GBP JPY unless the market presents a more favorable set of information or terms. This really doesn't look all that good. Okay. Okay, so the next was NZD-JPY. Okay, this one is a little more definitive, but we didn't catch it early. It's actually a straight up sell, but we didn't catch this early. If this actually continues to sell, most likely we'll have the same sell continuation on GBP-JPY, but we didn't catch this early. Entering from here now doesn't give us favorable odds. I keep talking about the odds because in truth, analysis is one thing, trading is something else entirely. Okay, so trading, fine. It's just running an analysis is simply predicting where the market is going to go to. Actually, trading actually requires looking at the odds, the amount you will win, lose on these trades. This just has almost static 1:1, and in order not to be greedy, I probably not even put my take profit all the way down there. So you see that that comes down to 1:0.72, which isn't good at all. So yeah, the trend is most likely going to continue going down, but taking an entry from where the market is right now is completely unreasonable. Okay. Okay. So okay, we've done GBP JPY, GST USDT. Speaking of Kobe, we're going to be having a Web3 webinar this Sunday at 5 p.m. So if you're interested in Web3 and how you can make money off of it, you really should be on that program. Is absolutely important. You cannot miss out on that program because Web3 is literally the future of tech right now. So it's absolutely important for you to be in attendance so you know how you can capitalize on this industry. I'm going to be a speaker along with Destiny and Mr. Obi now, so it's really going to be a power packed session. Okay, back to GST USDT. Well, it doesn't fit with my own idea of a trade. There's absolutely no way I'm going to take a trade on something that's selling this much. Although, if I want to apply a little Fibonacci to this, I might find justification to take this trade, but there's absolutely no way I would in my right mind. Okay, so yeah. Let's say the market is at 0.236, rejected from there. So if you're looking for justification to take this trade, this is as good as it gets. But personally, hell no, there's no way I'm going to take this because most likely you just have a bearish continuation. This is dying. Yeah, so we'll just have lower lows. Let me see if I can find a chart with more information. I think GST has more. Okay. Yeah, that's as far as it goes. So no, I wouldn't really be taking a trade on this one. Just leave it. When in a bear market, you have to be very selective as to what you trade and how you trade them. Okay, so I see a question as to how I select the alternate coins that I trade. It depends on the season. Right now we're in a bear market, so literally we have a lot of selling going on in the market, and there's a lot of emotions attached to this sales. So I look for assets that people have a little sort of confidence in, and in as much as they do sell, they see an atom of rationality to this market. So it's almost certainly going to play out technically. There's still going to be a certain level of rationale. So my technical analysis is going to work out with this market, regardless of all those emotions. You might just have a little extra, but it's still going to play out. And in addition, I don't trade anything that is pretty much at an all-time low, which this is. I first said this around February, March. Don't trade anything that is at an all-time low. It's a bottomless pit. It's a two-way thing. When it's at an all-time high, it breaks that all-time high. It's like the sky is open. Literally, the sky is open and there's limitless potential. Same way, when it's at an all-time low, it has limitless potential. It's a bottomless pit, so it can just keep going down. You don't have a support resistance that you're looking forward to this market reversing from. Remember, it's past price action that creates support and resistance. So there is being at an all-time low means there is no price track record to use to do anything. So I avoid anything that's at an all-time low, regardless of the fundamentals. I'm touching what's at an all-time low because I'm not using that fundamentals to invest. I'm trading. And in order to trade, I need price record in order to tell me how exactly this market is going to react from where it is. Okay. For this, I just don't have enough information to do anything. Plus, it can actually really continue going down really quick. So there's really no point taking that much risk for so little reward. Yeah, so that's just it for me. You can actually decide to trade this. It's perfectly okay. But for me, it's a no-no. Okay. All right. So every Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. we have our Midweek Live market analysis, and we try as much as possible to look into as many pairs as possible, so we know what exactly, or we can predict where the market is going to be going to for the rest of the week. It's absolutely important, and we fixed it at 8:30 in the morning, so you can actually use this information to trade. Imagine we're running this program at night. Very few people take trades at night, okay? So, but early on in the day, you can follow up, see how the market, and then see how exactly you can capitalize and make the most of the information that's been shared during the program. Okay, so 8:30 every Wednesday at 8, every